Welcome. My name is Cassie Cunningham. I'm the Vice President and Chief Growth Officer here at White River Valley Electric Cooperative. It's my pleasure to be our moderator for the conference today. I'd first like to welcome all of our guests, the news media, community partners, local, state, and federal legislators. So allow me to introduce them to you today. From 33rd District, Senator Carla Esslinger. 155th District, House Representative Travis Smith. 156th District, House Representative Brian Seitz. And we have Tucker Joe and Mike Ussery here from Senator Eric Schmidt's office. Thank you all for what you do for representing our communities at the local, state, and federal levels. So the purpose of our address today is to share some exciting news about our fiber internet services offering soon to connect the communities that we serve, funding partners that will make it possible for us to do so with these recent awards, and to provide you all with project specifics that you can share with your constituents, stakeholders, and audiences alike. Unfortunately, we did just get word a bit ago that the governor's travel plans were modified due to weather, so he won't be joining us, but we have these special guests here and others coming up that will help us celebrate the impact of the lives that we all serve. I'd like to introduce White River Valley Electric Cooperative CEO, Chris Hammond.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. I'm proud to serve as the CEO of White River Valley Electric Cooperative. We have a lot of excellent employees that help to power homes and businesses across the footprint of Christian, Douglas, Ozarks, Stone, and Taney counties. We serve nearly 48,000 meters and members over 5,300 miles of energized line. We, a member-owned electric cooperative that opened its doors in 1939, at a time when electric service wasn't just a luxury anymore. If it weren't for folks banding together to form electric cooperatives, rural areas would have been left in the dark. We're at that same crossroads now. For years, we have had requests to offer internet service because our members don't have what they need to keep up in today's electric and digital world. We've had many pleas for reliable internet to help support things such as education and through teachers and students. I'll give you an example that kind of burns in me. You know, during COVID, we had kids traveling to McDonald's in Ava, and also the White River parking lots to do their homework in the cars. We had teachers dropping by these same places to drop their work so they didn't have to travel the roads. And it's a burning desire in my heart that when teachers have to do continuing education, that they don't have to travel and hit the roads and go to Springfield or wherever they are to do their education and continue education, that they can stay at home with their families and take care of business as well at the same time. Employers and workers are needing stuff so they can actually do work at home. Now, we have employers that are coming in wanting to employ people to do work at home. Healthcare workers need the ability to access and maintain medical records. Even first responders are needing to more communications abilities to support their safety initiatives as well. All of these requests have come because we are part of the state that offers, our part of the state, there's very limited internet availability, especially in the rural areas. According to the FCC speed maps, 20% of people are considered underserved in the state of Missouri. 60% of those live in our footprint. We realize that the commitment to deliver reliable internet service is vital to the growth and stability of our membership and communities that we serve. After months of research, our board unanimously voted to extend fiber to the home services to our membership. This is an extremely exciting opportunity to impact the lives of our membership. I'd like to thank the Board of Directors and recognize those in attendance today. Would you please stand? Let's go give them a hand. Thank you for all your time, efforts, and dedication to the membership of White River Electric. In establishing the new subsidiary of our electric business, it needed a dedicated leader at the helm and one to work alongside the Cooperative hand in hand. Our former Vice President and Chief Engineering Officer and an integral part of the project from the very beginning was selected as the CEO of our new fiber subsidiary. I'll invite him up now to share with you about our Fiber to the Home project. The CEO of our recently named fiber subsidiary, White River Connect, please welcome the Bo Jackson.
Well, I am excited about the opportunity to connect the communities that we serve. Many months of research went into making this decision to provide reliable internet service to our area. It wasn't an easy decision or a decision made lightly by a board. They weighed a number of factors that we presented them. In addition to remote work and distance learning, or even just doing online banking, we found that reliable internet service is vital to supporting fundamental assets of our community. From smart agriculture to weather sensors, traffic lights, EV chargers, and even utility metering. Reliable internet service supports overall economic vitality and increased livability to any community. First, we conducted a feasibility study where we evaluated our population density in our areas. We also looked at different technology choices with fixed wireless or broadband fiber or a hybrid system where we utilize both technologies. We found that fiber is the most sustainable, reliable option for our footprint. We also look at different deployment choices given our physical plant and the cost per mile for those different choices. We analyze our competition and to see what drives take rates and also the potential revenue per user. And we looked at operating models to evaluate the ongoing costs, staffing needs, and the continued operations. Next, we consider 3 different business cases where we looked at type of network services that we could offer. One being if we built a higher tier network and lease fibers to others, or explore partnership opportunities. And then of course, White River doing a full fiber to the home network to service our territory. Then we evaluated what is currently available and in use. We looked at the service availability maps, the current providers in the area, and the products and services that they offer, and what speeds they report. Now this was a bit challenging because what is mapped and what the internet service providers show as available is not what people are reporting. So we went straight to the source, and that was our membership. We surveyed the entire membership and received nearly 8,000 respondents to provide us with valuable information. We asked if they had internet service, who was their provider, what speeds did they receive, if they are interested in White River providing internet services, and if so, what tier of service and price point would they be interested in. We found that over 91% of those who responded in every county were interested in White River providing internet service. Up to 39% in some counties didn't even have internet service available at all. And of those that did, only 13% had 25 megabits per second speeds available to them. Only 13%. Next, we looked at why there is such a gross lack of service in our area. And this is something that we've studied before, but never in such a deep dive. Considering the challenges of our terrain, the rocks, the hills, the hollers, the waterways, also the low population density in our rural areas. All of these are big cost drivers and enough to keep the existing service providers from deploying high-speed internet services to those areas. This will be the largest investment that our co-op has made since the doors were opened in 1939. But if we don't do it, nobody else will. In looking from the cooperative lens, we view this as a project of deploying reliable internet services to homes and businesses that are unserved and underserved as essential. Not just an investment to turn dollars, however, it needs to be financially feasible and as well as sustainable. We started analyzing the financials further, and we accounted for everything to determine how to make this happen. Aside from our own commitment, we knew we needed to seek additional funds because our studies indicated that this very large project was going to be financially challenging with a cost upwards to $260 million. We identified multiple tranches of state and federal funding, many of which hinge on the support and proven need of our communities. So our team hit the streets. Not only did we have the member data, but we wanted to hear from the community pillars to see what impact reliable internet service would have on their businesses and their constituents, in addition to the need in their own homes. The story was the same across the board. Schools that could not support distance learning, employees that could not log in for work, companies that could not service their equipment, or as much as run a credit card machine in some instances. Medical clinics that could not update and reliably access medical records, local development efforts diminish, and real estate transactions limited to the lack of connectivity. We received over 100 letters of support from organizations around our 5-county footprint, realizing the economic impact that reliable internet would have on their counties. 3 of our county commissions committed a match from their local ARPA funds to contribute to this sizable project that will change the lives for so many for years to come. Unfortunately, they're attending a statewide commissioners conference and could not make it today, but we like to give a special thanks to Stone, Taney, and Ozark County for their contribution to this project and their constituents. We were able to include their match in many of these support letters with their own grant applications. We've identified a few grants, including the state ARPA funds through the MOBIG program, that were a result of the COVID recovery, a time that truly highlighted the gross lack of connectivity in our area. There will be more on that shortly. We have also identified future funding through the Infrastructure and Jobs Act, down to monies that can help offset monthly costs for consumers through the Income Qualifying Affordable Connectivity Program. We wanted to make this project financially feasible, and we also want to drive adoption through digital equity and inclusion so everyone in our area has access to affordable, reliable internet services, regardless of what they earn and where they live. We are modeling monthly packages to be competitive with market prices while delivering the fastest symmetrical speeds the area has to offer. So to give you an update of where we are now, we are continuing to pursue multiple grant funding options, one of which the Department of Economic Development will cover shortly. We also continue to work through administrative details such as staffing and our business readiness plans. We just wrapped up member focus groups and all of our market research to brand our subsidiary, which we're very proud and excited to announce that White River Connect will be our name and brand to deliver reliable internet services to the homes and businesses in town and to the rural areas across the region. Designs for the network build-out are underway. Field data collection and make-ready contractors already have boots on the ground, working towards preparing our existing infrastructure for the new deployment of fiber. So construction is expected to start by the third quarter of this year. While this is a 4 to 5 year system build out, we anticipate turning on our first customers by the early 2024. So we look forward to building a world-class fiber network that will transform our rural communities, just as our founders did with electric 84 years ago. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing about the project, Bo. Mr. Hammond and our board of directors, we appreciate you stepping up to meet the needs of our members and the communities that we serve. Next, we will invite BJ Tanksley to the podium to announce some very exciting news. BJ Tanksley joins the Department of Economic Development in January 22. As the director of the Office of Broadband Development, BJ's career began with Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry, where he worked for 5 years. Following that, he served as the Missouri Farm Bureau's Southeast Regional Coordinator before returning to Central Missouri in 2016 to work as the State Legislative Director for Missouri Farm Bureau. Throughout his career, he has seen the need for high-speed internet across the state of Missouri. While working as State Legislative Director for Missouri Farm Bureau, he was part of the advocacy for recreating the Missouri Office of Broadband. In 2018, Missouri Farm Bureau was the most active voice for the end-user perspective in the legislative effort to establish the state broadband grant program. He's excited to turn his advocacy into action, leading the Office of Broadband in the vital time for addressing the digital divide across the state. BJ and his wife Ashley live in Ashland, Missouri with their 2 children, Charlie and Abby. Leading the statewide initiative to support reliable internet service is DED's Director of Broadband Development, BJ Tanksley.
Thank you very much. I hate when anybody reads that. It seems way too long for just me being here, but I'm thrilled to be here, thrilled to be a part of this today, and really thrilled to announce that DED is excited to be partnering with you in this effort. Hopefully everybody already knows, I've never been the one to announce it, but White River Valley is the largest recipient of our ARPA broadband grant program and going to be receiving one of the things that I think is the most awesome, and doesn't happen, I don't think, for any other provider, but they are receiving all 7 of the grants that they applied for a total of $47 million and $387,000 and some change. So very excited for you all. Congratulations. Honestly, I think it really is phenomenal. You all did a great job of laying out the why of why these projects are so necessary, and super excited to partner with you here coming very soon to start seeing progress take place. Really, truly, this is the second one of these events that I've been a part of, but truly want to be here to say thank you to you all. And thank you. I hate that the county leaders aren't here, but that's a big deal. For those of you all who are a part of this community, go tell your county leaders thank you, because that's huge. $7 million in local matching funds. I think if not the biggest local matching funds, it's one of the biggest we saw when it came to the application process. Very excited to partner in these. Just a couple big picture things. If you look at the ARPA broadband grant program map, there's a couple projects that stand out, and this one right here is one of the biggest, and it definitely shows the impact that we'll have on the region, so super excited about that. But really want to thank them. Another group of people that can't go without being thanked is the legislature. I hate that Governor Parson isn't able to be here, but without his leadership and the legislature agreeing to fund these things, none of this becomes possible. There was a lot of priorities that we could have spent ARPA funds on, but understanding how big the problem is across the state and actually allowing us to move forward with these projects quickly allows us to have a step up on other states that are looking to do similar projects with funds that will be coming down the line. So we really couldn't have done this without the legislature's involvement. They deserve a big round of applause. So seriously, thank you all for your support in that. On a personal note, I have to thank them for allowing us to add to the broadband team. It's not easy for a conservative state to say, yes, for this temporary period of time, we should staff up to be able to do these things wisely. and the legislature trusted us at the Department of Economic Development to do that. We now have several from the team. Kyle's here with us, as well as Department of Economic Development's communications team. And allowing us to team up was a true thing. To be able to do these things in a smart way, to be both mindful of the public funds being spent, but also to be able to move quickly and allow these projects to move forward as quickly as possible. So we're very excited about that. So thank you for that. This really is truly historic for the Office of Broadband. Not that long ago, it was an office of one. Now we have about 11 team members working on these issues. And we were really able to do that only because of those things. We've been able to build out the office and be able to do this in a smart way. You know, you were talking about a few statistics, and one of the ones we came up with in preparing for these funding opportunities was that there's approximately 400,000 unserved and underserved locations across the state of Missouri. But this was truly a down payment towards changing that for a lot of people. And truly excited about what that $265 million investment, that's what we're seeing on the statewide. About $261 million were able to be deployed into these ARPA broadband programs. Very excited about it. But the truth is the problem's big. We had over 1.3 billion in requests. You know, I was brand new to this. I knew about broadband, but I didn't know about the grants process. So when we put together guidelines and we said, okay, we'll see what comes in. And we, you know, that night when the grants closed, we thought, well, will anybody want to take part in the program? You know, we put this out there, but did we make it so that nobody would want to take part? Well, when we came in the next morning and we had $1.3 billion in requests, we had a different problem. But that was very exciting to know that there was desire, but know that there's need across the state. And then we worked through over 500 challenges to those programs and making sure that we were being mindful of where we spent those funds. We appreciate all of our applicants being patient with us as we made sure that the funds were going to connect unserved and underserved people and not going to duplicate services. So we were very excited about that. And like I said, then we were like, okay. And as the director of the office, I really stepped back because I know some of these providers. And I said, okay, I want the team to score them, and then I want to take a look at what the projects come out. And I was like, okay, we'll see what it looks like. And again, the night before I got to see it, it's like, okay, well, where are the projects going to be? Are they truly going to be in the areas of the need? Are they going to be in rural places? And when we saw the map come back, I was truly proud. But not of what our team had done, but what people like you all had applied for. Seeing true needs and then wanting to step up to that need. You know, one of the big goals of our office, knowing that some of these hardest to reach areas are hard to reach because there wasn't a provider there. We knew that it was going to take new people getting involved in this, or else this problem wouldn't be able to be met. So we really appreciate that. I think this is a shining example of how it can work by us making the funding available and then allowing new players to get into the field to be able to fill this need that hasn't been before. Because let's face it, if private financing alone would have done it, it already would be served. So I think it truly shows that too. And I think these projects were a shining example of the priorities that we wanted to see in projects. I won't tell this at every press conference, but these projects truly scored at the top of the rankings in almost every ranking we had. So congratulations for that, for submitting truly awesome projects that showed community support. They showed an area of significant need. They had the ability to do the projects and move forward in a smart way. And then they also had what was really a burden on us, and we didn't know how much funding would come, which was that local community support of actually financially supporting the projects. Those things combined turned into really awesome projects that we are so excited to be a part of funding. Like I said in the beginning, I have it written here in the notes, so I better say it again, 7 total projects. The largest recipient of the broadband grant program. That's awesome, right here. Over $47 million, serving almost 18,000 communities, just with the part of the program that the project that we're funding right now. I know there's plans for more project in the future, and we look forward to being able to be a part of that too. But right now, connecting almost 18,000 locations. We're very excited about the changes that's going to make and impacting 5 counties right here. And like I said, the total local match. We're super excited. None of this happens, like I said, without you all being willing to step up to the plate. Don't let them fool you. They may not have mentioned it here, but there's a lot of private funding going into this as well. And I know that was a step of faith by the board to allow the people to do this, to know that this truly is an example of a need for the community and you all can do it. So don't let them fool us. We deserve no credit for this. It was a lot from them being willing to step up to the plate. So we're very excited about that. I have to mention, because it's one of the requirements of the role, there are more opportunities coming in the very near future. The Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act that was alluded to earlier will actually fund progressive rounds of broadband grant funding over the next few years. We're very excited about the opportunity that lies, but this is going to be a huge step forward for this area, and we're very excited about this right here. All I have to say is thank you to you all. Really, we appreciate you stepping up to the plate and being willing to serve these areas. We're very excited about the impact it can have on the entire community. So thank you all very much.
Representative Travis Smith would like to share a few words.
As a former coach, we had the acronym TEAM. Together, everybody achieves more. And it's amazing how much can get accomplished when no one cares who gets the credit. I want everybody who's wearing one of these gray shirts to stand up, because it's the employees that made this happen too, and we appreciate everything you do, and we need to give them a great big hand. In our area, from the time a child is born until they graduate high school, the local, city, county, state, and federal government has invested about $600,000 in each child. But yet for years, our biggest export in Southwest Missouri has been our people. And now, if COVID has taught us anything, it's a lot of us can do our work from home, and now our children get to stay with us. Our grandchildren get to be close by. The governor always talks about what we do here today is not for us. It's for our children and our grandchildren. And I can't tell the board how much we appreciate the fact that you guys had a belief in doing this. And one person who didn't get recognized too was Cass. Cass went around to every one of the county commissioners. In my small county of Ozarks County, they gave over half their money. And I know Stone County gave a big investment, and so did Taney. And Cass, give her a hand, because she's the one that got that done. And everybody here, you are changing lives for the better. 1939 is when we started doing this. 85 years later, now we're providing a basic utility. Internet used to be a luxury, now it's something we all have to have, and I can't tell you how proud I am for this to happen. Not only are we going to get internet, we're going to have some of the best internet, not only in the state, but in the country. So thank you to everybody who helped put this together, and God bless you.
We appreciate you helping make that happen, and we'd like to encourage our existing members to make sure that their account information is up to date. That way we can easily communicate when service may be available in their area. Members and any others in the community that are looking for reliable high-speed internet can visit our website to have subscribe to updates and just to follow our progress through the projects. That's whiteriverconnect.com will be the dedicated website for our fiber subsidiary. I'd like to invite the media or anyone if you have any questions. I feel then we were very informative. Wonderful. We couldn't be more thrilled to connect the communities that we serve, and just want to thank you all for coming today, being a part of things. I hope you have a great rest of your evening and a safe drive home. Thank you.